Hi everyone, Sangel here from Sangel Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to do the pattern for this really pretty Bavarian crochet stitch square. Now it ends up being a 2-row repeat once you get your foundation section done, and it uses some fairly straightforward stitches. Some you may have seen, some you haven't, and we'll go over those. And it just turns out really pretty, and it works up to being, you make the square as big as you want. So this is the one I've got in progress that I'm making for my living room. And if you're wondering about the colors, I did take note of the colors. So this is Loops and Thread Slate, which is color 26006. This is Arctic, which is Loops and Thread as well, which is color VS144. This is Loops and Thread Ice Blue, which is color VS146. And then the cream color you see is actually Lion Brand Pound of Love in Antique White, which is color 099B. I had a full ball of that left, so I figured I'll use that since I already had it. So those are the colors you see here in this combination. And again, I'm going to have the pattern up on the website for you to download, and it's all, you can find other copies on the internet as well. This isn't something that I've done. This is something that I learned to do, and I said, well, I think I'll make a little video for this. So this ends up being, once you get your sections done, the first few sections, you're going to end up repeating rows 4 and 5. So there's always, each color is done in 2 rows. There's your setup row, and then your finishing row. So there's the bottom part of almost like a shell, and then the top part of the shell. And then when you go to do the new color, you can see how you end up with these little detailing stitches along the way, and that's because you're going to be doing back post treble crochets in them. So you'll see what we mean as we go along here, but it ends up being quite pretty, and it just gives us a nice definition in the stitch. And if you flip over, I put a stitch marker, a stitch holder, so I wouldn't lose, because I needed the hook for the next one. It's a nice flat back, so it's pretty on both sides. You just don't get the definition of the accent stitch on the back side. So you could use, I did this in worsted weight yarn. I don't recommend going above a worsted weight because it gets a little too tricky. I had some chunky yarn that left over from another project I really liked. Tried it. It was tricky, and honestly, it didn't really show the accents very well, in my opinion. So I frogged it and put everything back the way it was. But you could easily go down to a DK weight or a nice soft baby yarn, because you could make a really pretty, if you use shades of pink or blues or yellows or whatever colors you'd like for a baby blanket, you could very easily do that. And a nice, if you had a nice colorway, like a colorama, like the halo colors where they are self gradient, you could always do that, because then as you go along, the gradients would change, and you could have like, that might be pretty too. I've never done plan pooling. That's something I have never really been able to wrap my head around, but if you were good at that, you might be able to figure out a way to plan your colors so that they would change in such a way as well. But again, I do recommend the worsted weight. Now, one thing I will recommend as well, you'll notice on your labels for your yarn, if I look at my slate here for my Loops and Thread, it does recommend a hook size. So this recommended a 5. I'm using a 6 for this pattern, the Bavarian stitch. Whatever the yarn you're using, if it recommends a 4.5, go up to 5.5. If it recommends a 5, go up to a 6. Go up one size. You will thank me, because if you use the size that's recommended, it gets really hard. And the size, I have the ergonomic hooks because I have arthritis in my hands. If you have a hook like mine, be prepared, because at one point you're going to have enough stitches on here, it's going to get pretty tight. If you can manage to find a hook that doesn't have like the thicker handle and doesn't stop, it's even better because it gives you a little more room to play when you push on those stitches. So if you want to, I'm just going to use for the tutorial, I have some colors that don't necessarily go well together, but they're going to be a little easier to see. And then as we move along, if need be, I can switch up to my actual work in progress here. But isn't this going to be pretty? I love the colors together. All right, so let me move that one to the side. And again, I will have a copy of the written instructions for you to download as a PDF on the website, which I'll put a link in the description box. So in here, you will need to know some basic things like chain, chain space, single crochet, but you're gonna need to know treble, back post together, and we'll go over all these, okay? Now, I'm going to start with the burgundy. So the first thing you're going to see is making a magic ring. You can, if you want, if you're not comfortable with the magic ring, or if you prefer not to use one, you can just start with a chain of 4 and slip stitch the chain together and work your first section into the center of that ring you made. But I'm going to start with the magic ring. And for the magic ring, I always like to I take the tail of my yarn, drape it over my fingers, go over like that, put my hook through the loop, pull up, drop my yarn, and then just do a single crochet. But that doesn't count as anything. That's just to secure your ring. Let me show you that again. Take the tail and give yourself a fairly long tail, because this you need some to weave in at the end, and this is going to be a pretty packed ring. So cross over your yarn when you make the loop, put your hook in to the one that you're holding in your fingers here, put the hook in through, pull up the working yarn. You can safely drop it right now, do a single crochet to secure your ring. That just closes the ring up. That's not a stitch at all, okay? That's your magic ring. Okay, so for row 1 or round 1, make your ring, or do your chain 4 and slip stitch from the beginning chain, and you're going to do this repeat. You're going to chain 5 again. That doesn't count, okay? So single crochet first, then chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then treble 4 together. So to do a treble, you're going to yarn over twice, okay? And I'm going to show you this multiple times. Then you're going to put your hook through into the ring, yarn over and pull your yarn up. And this is going to feel a little flimsy at first, but don't worry. Once you get the first row done, you're not too bad. So you're going to see you got four loops on your hook, okay? Because you had your chain that was attached to your hook. You've yarned over twice, put your hook through, and yarned over and pulled up. So you got 4. So now you're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2, and yarn over and pull through the second 2. But you're not going to finish, because we're going to be doing 4 of these together. So now you're going to yarn over twice again, put your hook in through the magic ring, yarn over and pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So now you've got 3 loops on your hook, and you've completed 2 of the trebles, okay? So yarn over twice again, and sometimes you need to kind of put your finger on that the second loop that you've put the second yarn over, so that it doesn't kind of slip off. And then put your hook through, yarn over and pull up. Then we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We've now got 3 trebles on our hook that we haven't completed yet, so we need to do 1 more, okay? So yarn over twice, hook through the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We now have that chain 5 that we started with and our 4 partially done trebles. Now, to treble the 4 together, we're going to yarn over and pull through everything, all of those loops. Okay? Then we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and put a single crochet through the magic ring to anchor that first cluster down. And once you get going and start to fill in the ring, you'll see they fill in fairly nicely and they scrunch up. So that's the first set of chain 5s, the treble 4 together, chain 5, and a single crochet. So now that's the repeat. So now we're going to chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to do another treble 4 together. So again, yarn over twice. Don't forget, if you need to, put your finger on that last yarn over to hold it in place. Put in through the magic ring, yarn over and pull up your loop. Oh. See, it is a little flimsy until you get to close the ring up. Don't worry. So then yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Going to pull that just a little bit. So now we need to do that 3 more times. Yarn over twice, in through the magic ring and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and again. And one more time. Just going a little quicker here, and I'll do the next one again a little slower. So we now have our 5 chains and our 4 partially done. So now we're going to put them together by yarning over and pulling through everything. And then chain 5 and single crochet back into the magic ring. So we've got 2 of those clusters done. Now we need to do 2 more. So we'll chain 5 again. Yarn over twice, hook in through the magic ring and pull up your loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2 and stop. So you're going to hold that, and again, and a couple more times here. So you're going to get really good at doing the trebles because that's the main stitch. So it uses a fair bit of yarn, but not too bad. There's just, you know, it's comparable to some of the other stitches, but all right, so we got our 4, so yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook. Chain 5, single crochet into the magic ring, and then we're going to chain 5 again, yarn over twice, and do it. We're going to treble 4 together in here. So yarn over, pull through 2 twice. Now this is the last. Oh, my yarn split just a second here. It's funny how some yarn doesn't split at all, and there's some yarn that famously is known for splitting and not the easiest to work with. All right. So one more. Now on the last one, it's a little different here. So what you're going to do is you do have your chain 5 and your 4 trebles that you're holding on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all of them at yarn over and pull through all the loops like you did before. Then chain 5. But instead of doing a single crochet, because this is the last of the clusters, that single crochet you did at the beginning, you're going to slip stitch to that. Okay? Then we can close this ring. I'm going to give it a real good tug here. And then what I'm actually going to do, just to make life a little easier, is get my needle. And this is a project, well, weave in your ends as you go. Every time you change a color, weave in the previous color's ends, okay? You will thank me for that. So give this a nice little tug as you're securing your ring. And after I go through, I like to just kind of put a knot and tighten that up, and then weave it in a little bit more. And just be careful you don't go through so that it shows up on your other side. All right, and then we'll just snip that off. All right, so this is what you'll have after round one, okay? It kind of looks like a butterfly, but these end up being your corners. All right, so that's row one. Now, you're gonna stick with the same color, and for this one, I'm getting tangled here. You're gonna chain one, and you're gonna put a single crochet in that exact same spot, okay? Which is just in the where you joined before. So now, what we're going to do, and it may be a little tricky to see, let me get my needle here. When you're looking at your work, let me just take the hook out. You've got the chain 5, and then where you crocheted and joined, can you kind of see this hole here? Where you crocheted and you joined the trebles together, when you crochet them together, it makes like a little loop at the top of them. That's that loop that you're going to be working into right there, okay? So it may seem like things aren't going to fit. It will, because that loop will stretch. You're not worrying about any of these sections here. We're literally going to be working into these little holes that join 4 together made, okay? Hope you can see that there. Let me see if I can get a little closer. So when you're looking at it, you may have to stretch it out just a little bit just so you can see. See that little hole there? You can kind of see the white shining through it. So in there, see? That's where we're going to be doing. So it wants you to put 4 trebles. Each corner is going to be the same every row. So it wants us to do 4 trebles in here. And these aren't together, these are just straight up trebles. So I've yarned over once, twice, put my hook in there, and yes, we're going all the way over there, and you'll see why. It'll work out in a minute. Yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through the last 2. Now, you'll notice this is a little stretched out. Don't panic. That's totally normal, and it won't be an issue. You'll see. So now that was 1, so we're going to yarn over twice. Right back in that same hole, we're going to put 3 more trebles to make 4. So that's 3. And 4. Now you're going to chain 1 and put 4 more in that exact same hole. And I say hole because it's just where the join, the 4 together below, was done. It's not really totally a stitch. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, chain 1, and 4 more in that same hole. 1, 2, 3, 3, and 4. And then in the chain space next to each cluster, which you may have to for the first little bit until you get used to seeing it. It's in here, like when you're looking, it's down in here. Let me get my needle again. It's down in here, and it's going to be a little easier to see when we get to the lighter color. So in the V, each kind of V section where you joined your chain 5, and then you single crocheted into the magic ring, that's where in here is where you're going to put your single crochet. Okay, so you're going to single crochet in there, and that makes the first corner. So you got 4 trebles, chain 1, 4 trebles, chain 1, 4 trebles. So again, we're going to go right into the next one. We're going to find that hole where the join the 4 together trebles from below. We're going to go into that hole there. You can see where that is? You can kind of see the white shining through. That's where you're going in to put your 4 trebles. 1, 2, 3. So then we're going back in. So this is number 2. Helps if I yarn over twice. So it's 2. 3. 4, chain 1, put another 4 trebles in that same spot. 1, 2, 3, and 4, chain 1, and 4 more trebles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we've got our 4 trebles, 1, 2, 3, 4, our chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 trebles, chain 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, see, 4, chain 1, 4, chain 1, and 4. So then you're going to single crochet into that chain 1, or the single crochet from the row below in the middle of the V between the stitches, right in there. If you can get past the first few rows, I promise it does become easier, and it's easier to see where you need to put things. The setup rows are the trickiest, so just patience and stick with it. So again, now we're going to go in with our corner, which is a 4 treble single crochet, 4 treble single crochet. We have to do this 2 more times. So if you want to put me on pause and work the corner on this one, single crochet into that single crochet at the V part from the row below. You can kind of see it a little better there and here, and then get your corner done here. Meet me back before, don't single crochet here. I'm gonna show you how to finish off this round. So put me on pause and work your way around to the end of the row. Be right back. Okay, so I got all my trebles done, and I'm at the end of the row, and instead of doing a single crochet to the single crochet in the V part below, we're going to just slip stitch to it, and we're going to fasten off. And I like to do another chain 1, leave yourself a little tail, pull up, pinch the end and pull it tight, and then we're going to weave in that end as well, because we're done with that color for now, because again, each color is 2 rows. So we're going to just hide this. I like to bring it over into the where you end up putting all your trebles together. It leaves a nice little section for hiding in an end. And then we'll snip that off. All right, so after the second row, that's what you're going to look like, okay? So now we're going to take our next color. I dropped my yarn. Ooh. It's a long way down. Okay. So now we're going to take our second one, which I think we'll do the pink. So it's a little easier to see. And you're going to join the yarn. So what I like to do is make a slip knot on my hook. Okay. And you can do it whatever way is your preferred method. This is how I like to do it. And then it's telling you for row 3, attach the second color to any corner chain space, okay, of the previous row. So each one of these sections is a corner. So you got 4 corners here, right? So it wants you to join in one of the chain 1 spaces. So when you're looking, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's your chain 1 space. Okay. Join to the first chain space of the previous row. Okay. So we're going to join in here. So I'm going to attach my yarn, and then I'm just going to chain 1 and make a single crochet in the exact same space. Now, what we're going to do is chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to put back post treble crochet together these 4 stitches. And by doing the back post is what makes that nice little ridge of accent. So yarn over twice. To do a back post, you're going to come in from the back, go around the post, come out the back, yarn over, and pull that loop through and up. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and hold. Again, yarn over twice. You're not working in these stitches, you're working around the post, okay? So you're going to come in from the back, around the front, back out the back, yarn over and pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2, and hold. And again, so come in from the back, around the front of the post, out through the back, yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So now we're holding those on there. Yarn over twice again, come in from the back, around the front of the post, out to the back, yarn over and pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. We're now holding the 4 trebles on our hook. So now we're going to yarn over and pull through everything like we've done before. Chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to single crochet in the next chain 1 space right next to that last post you did. Okay, that's a corner. Each corner is going to look like that, okay, on this row and every first setup row. So chain 5 again. Now we're at the V section. So this is where you need to have some room on your hook, because you're literally going to be trebling 8 together. You're going to do the back post treble down these 4, then up these 4, and then treble them together. So let's watch. Yarn over twice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see those there. we're going to go in from the back, around the front, out the back again, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do that to the next one. Once you get the hang of this, it does go quickly. Okay, and like I said, and I promise, once you get a few rows into it and you get to the 2-row repeat, you're just cruising. All right, so this is the 4th for that section. So we're holding 4 on our hook, but now we're going to come up these 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Be careful you don't get the chain 5. So sometimes you have to kind of separate them just to take a quick peek. So yarn over twice into the first post, yarn over twice, the second one, and we're holding all these on here. So you can see why I was saying about having maybe one of the non-ergonomics. So you have more room with the hook. All right, so as you can see here, we've got our 4 back post trebles there, and then we did our 4 coming up the side. So now we're going to yarn over and pull through everything on the hook. All right, then we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to single crochet in the next chain 1 space. And you can see there, it's filled in our V section. And we're getting our nice definition of the accent stitch there. So now we're going to chain 5 again. And we're at a corner, so for the next 4, we're going to do the back post treble to 4 together. You'll be an expert with the trebles by the time we're done. So 1 more. So we've got our 4 trebles that we're holding. Yarn over, pull through everything, chain 5, and then single crochet in that chain 1 space right next to that last treble. Then we've come to the side, so we're going to chain 5 again. And much like how we did this one, we're going to do the 4 back post treble crochet here and the 4 back post treble crochet here, but holding before we finish each stitch, so we end up with 8 and then pulling through. So we're going to yarn over twice, do our back post, but hold it before we finish it. And again, I always put my finger there to hold that, so because those yarn overs like to slip off when you've got the 2 of them on there. But you can kind of see my point about this not being the best hook when you get so many stitches on there at once. It makes it a little tricky to hold everything. One more. So now that we've gotten the 4 from this side and the 4 from that side, we're going to finish it off by yarning over and pulling through everything, chain 5, and then single crochet in the chain space, chain 5 again, and we're at the corner, so we're going to do back post treble crochet 4 together. Going a little quicker here because I'm hoping that what we did towards the first you understood and you know where we're at here. So we have our 4. We're going to yarn over, pull through everything, chain 5, and single crochet in the chain 1 space. So now we have to do our back post treble crochet 8 together by doing the 4 down here and the 4 up here. Then we're going to chain 5 and do a corner, and we're going to do the sides again. So if you want to put me on pause and meet me back at the end, and I'll show you how to finish this row. Right back. Okay, so I've got my last side here, so my last 8 on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through everything. Still going to chain 5. Whoop. Oh no. All right. Still going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But instead of single crocheting, we're just going to slip stitch to that first chain 1 that we did. Okay, and that finishes that row. So now I always wait to weave in my ends till I finish the second row, because that gives you the nice where you're doing all your trebles, it gives you the nice section to weave the ends in. So that's the end of row 3. So now we're going to go to row 4. Row 4 is the first of the repeat. Row 4 and 5 are what you're going to repeat after you get this done. So for row 4, we're going to chain 1, single crochet into that same stitch, and then we're back to being where we did the treble 4 together, and you have that little, space where the little loop in there, like we did in the first row, the little loop that is made right there from the join. You're going to make your corner, which is the 4 trebles, chain 1, 4 treble, chain 1, 4 trebles. Each corner is going to be the same in this part. So do your trebles in that little spot there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 1, go right back in that same spot with another 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, chain 1 again, and 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that finishes the corner, and then where you've got this chain 1 from the previous row, you're going to put it, or not chain 1, sorry, a single crochet. You're going to single crochet into that single crochet from the row below to anchor that corner. So now, because as you're doing each row, your sides are growing by 1, right? So for this section here, you still have that hole where you did the join. You're going to put 4 trebles in that little hole. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you're going to chain 1 and put 4 more in the same hole, okay? The same space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to put a single crochet in the single crochet from the previous row. Then you're back to the next corner. So what you're going to do is just like we did here, we're going to put a 4 treble, single crochet, 4 treble, single crochet, 4 treble. So find your little spot where you did the join. So 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 1, right back in with 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 3, and 4. Another chain 1 and 4 more to finish off the corner. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to single crochet in that single crochet below. And then for the side section, you're going to put a 4 treble. 1, 2, 3, 4, a chain 1, and another 4 trebles right in that same chain space or same space. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you're going to single crochet into the next single crochet from below. We're back to the corner. So again, you're going to put your 4 trebles, single crochet, or 4 treble, chain 1, 4 treble, chain 1, 4 trebles. You're going to do the side like you just did here by putting 4 trebles, a chain 1, 4 trebles, back to the corner, and work your way around to get to the end. And if you want to put me on pause and meet me back here, I'll show you how we're going to finish that. Okay, so I'm towards the end here. I just finished doing my last side of my 4 trebles, chain 1, 4 trebles. Now instead of single crocheting to the next space, we're going to just slip stitch to the first chain, or single crochet, sorry, that we had done. I'm going to yarn over and chain 1 again, fasten off my yarn, pull up my tail, tighten, and I weave in my ends. Now, that was the end of, that was row 4. So row 5, you attach your next color and do the same thing like we did before, where you're going to do your back post treble crochets together. So each color has 2 rows, and this is where you're going to start repeating. You're going to go row 5, then row 4, row 5, then row 4. So in row 5, you're always going to have each corner will be back post treble crochet 4 together, and then you're going to do your treble back post treble crochet 8 together to fill in your V's. And then when you get to back to row repeat row 4, you're going to do your corners will be the 4 trebles, single crochet, 4 treble, single crochet, 4 treble. Then in the each side section you'll have 4 trebles, single crochet, 4 treble, and each side section you'll do those. And again, every corner will be a 4, chain 1, 4, chain 1, 4. And you're just going to repeat rows, row 5, then 4, 5, then 4. And row 5 is essentially the exact same as what we just did in row 3. So hopefully that will get you to where you need to be. And as you work through and it grows, this is what you'll see. So there's always a setup row, and that's where you're going to be doing your back post treble crochets together to give you that nice accent part of the stitch, and the little definition where it's a ridged and raised up. So that's your setup row, and then your next row is to complete the shell kind of section where you're going to do all your trebles. So each corner will be on the setup row will, like I said, be in the 4 treble crochets together, and then on the next row would be the 4 trebles, chain 1, 4 trebles, chain 1. So hopefully this helps you out and it gets you working on the Bavarian stitch. The color combinations pretty much endless, and it is quite pretty. And like I said to you, once you get past this first section here, this goes pretty quickly and it becomes a lot easier to see where you need to put your stitches, and it goes pretty smoothly. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And once again, I will put a link to the PDF pattern on the website in the description. And if you haven't already liked the channel, give it or subscribe, give it a subscribe, and give a like to the video if you liked it. I appreciate you watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Happy crocheting and take care.